Today we're going to learn how to put on tack for a hippotherapy session. There are several items that you'll need. First is a big Western pad. Second is one of these cut up yoga pads that has easy directions written on it. Third, you'll need a standard English pad. Fourth, a surcingle. Fifth, a girth for that surcingle and to keep everything cinched onto the horse. And stirrups. You'll also need a bitless bridle for the session, but today we're just going to focus on what goes on the horse's back. So, after the horse is well groomed, all of these pieces of equipment can be found in the tack room in barn 4. After the horse is well groomed and you've checked to make sure there's nothing underneath that will rub in a bad way, you'll put the Western pad on. These suede pieces indicate the front. This is where the girth will lay. You'll notice I start a little far forward and push back. You don't want to do the opposite where you start too far back and pull forward because it can wrinkle up their hair and make it just uncomfortable for them. So I start a little bit further up and you'll notice that this part of the front of the pad sits on the top of the withers. The withers is this highest point of the horse here from the ground up. This is actually how we measure them. Second is the yoga pad, and again, it's very easy. This is the front. This line should help you guide it to the straight spine line of the horse. Again, this is pulled up to the front as well, so there is 2 layers at least at this point that will go underneath the surcingle, and this is the third, the English pad, which goes right on top. So we're kind of making a little layer cake. This is the surcingle. The surcingle often has several rings on it, but if you look at it from above, you can tell that this is right where it should go near the horse's withers, so it's even. So we'll place this over, and you'll notice I'm not putting it directly on their withers, but just behind. The withers should always be clear of any sort of tack, including saddles. The gullet should be clearing their withers. And here, when this is cinched down, this is actually just behind the withers. Technically, we do most of our tacking from the left, but we'll go ahead and attach our girth over on the right side of the horse. With your girth, you want it to be, if this is the middle of it, that's going to be as close as possible to the middle of the horse's belly. So I like to start off with the surcingle girth pretty loose, and then just make sure that you can tighten up on either side. There should be 2 buckles that go on either. Excuse me, one of these should go through just for slipping these keepers on the saddle pad. Sometimes if you have an extra helping hand, you can pass it to the other person on the other side, but it's just me today. So we'll go back over. I'll safely reach under. Again, I'm going to loop the back one through here. I'll allow the girth to do the work for me. Each one of these girths typically has a spinner. What do I call this? Yeah, one that this will help you pull, so it spins so you can use it for leverage. When we do our girths and anything we do, we won't cinch up super tight to start, just so it's not uncomfortable for the horse. But it's also snug enough that this isn't going to move around if the horse moves around. Lastly are our stirrups. Make sure that you have a matching pair. We have put colored tape on the stirrup pair so that you can match them easily. Per usual, your safety feature should be to the outside. You will undo the leather, feed it through the ring here, which is on this particular surcingle, the 3rd ring up. Your therapist will always do the adjustments so it fits your rider well. Just make sure if you can try and start it off at the same length on either side. The leather will be flush with the rider's leg or shin, and their foot will be in, and the safety feature is on the outside. And I'll repeat on the same side, or excuse me, the other side on the right.